Welcome to my tarot card reading for the month of August 2014. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Cancer, this is your reading. Cancer, we have here issue. We have the Five of Staff. We have the Nine of Staff, the Ten of Staff, and the Nine of Staff representing Mars and Sagittarius. My dear Cancer, what we have here, notice that issue is upside down, but at the same time is walking into a different direction. So this might show a tendency that you might have during the month of August. And there's a tendency of walking away from whatever the situation is. It could be that there is a fight, an argument, a situation that you are afraid of, and it pushes you away to seclude yourself, isolate yourself, to walk away from the problem. Technically speaking, that's what the tarot cards are saying. Mars, Sagittarius, you might even travel. Whatever it is, the month of August, that's what you're going to start seeing. You are going to flee away, try to escape from whatever it is that is holding you back. But there is, at the same time, fear to confront the problem, the situation that is holding you back in life. Now, the question that we should be asking is how this energy will manifest according to your rising sign. So your rising sign is in Aries. You know that Aries is a pioneer. It's like a warrior that likes to open doors and jump obstacles and all this kind of stuff. He loves the adventure. And if you flee away from this situation, you give the back, this is going to bring you a lot of stagnation. Let's put it like that. Things are going to get stagnant. Things are not going to grow. So the best advice is then to face it, fight, give the fight, and face your fears. If your rising sign is Taurus, my dear Cancer, this walking away is going to make you go back to the same stuff before. You have to solve the problem. By walking away, you're not going to solve the problem. You're going to walk away, but then again, you're going to fall back in the same situation. If it is a relationship, you might end up in a very similar relationship. You have to fix first the problem. You have to face it. If your rising sign is Gemini, what we have here, my dear Cancer, you're going to feel a little bit disappointed, hopeless, and this is what probably is going to push you into a direction of walking away and leaving everything behind. Okay? If your rising sign is Cancer, my dear Cancer, what we have here is in a state of paranoia, a state of disbelief. You're going to be in a defensive mode. All this dynamic, all this fear is going to push you away, make you walk away, travel, do something different, experience something different, but it's because you are on the defensive mode, you are paranoid, you are trying to avoid the same situation that you got into. If your rising sign is Leo, what we're going to start seeing, my dear Cancer, is that you're going to walk away and you're going to engage in a new relationship, be it a contract, a business partnership, whatever it is. You're going to walk away from all this stuff and you're going to engage in a different new relationship. If your rising sign is in Virgo, there's going to be fear to change. Okay? It could be that you're struggling, you're fighting with this situation that is not going anywhere, and you see that the only choice is walking away, but this produces fear to change. If your rising sign is in Libra, my dear Cancer, this uncertainty this perspective of not knowing which path to take is going to harm you a little bit, because you're going to feel like the whole world collapsed. Okay? If you don't move on, or you don't face the reality, life is going to do it for you, and you're going to feel like the whole world has collapsed. Okay? If your rising sign is a Scorpio, what we have here is, my dear Cancer, it's a sensation that you just don't care anymore. Just let it be. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen, and you just go with the flow. Okay? That's going to be your attitude for whatever happens in August. So highly probable you just don't care anymore, and you just fly away. Just let it be. You realize that it's not worth it. You don't care anymore. Just let it. You just let it be, and you just move on, walk away. That's the kind of tendency that you have. If your rising sign is Sagittarius, my dear Cancer, what we're going to start seeing is that an attitude this is a fire sign. Fire signs, they like to jump around. They are very active, and walking away from all this dynamic, if you let the fear possess you and push you into a different direction, is going to create the same situation that it's creating for Aries. Is going to create stagnation. Things are not going to progress. They're not going to evolve for you. If your rising sign is Capricorn, my dear Cancer, this dynamic is going to force you to do a lot of analysis, auto-analysis, a lot of thinking, a lot of brooding. You're going to analyze your whole life, okay? And you're going to be technically your own psychologist. If your rising sign is in Aquarius, my dear Cancer, then you're going to, again, think. But in this time, you're going to think on what you have achieved in your life. You're going to start thinking on all the stuff that you have and had in the past, on all your goals. But at the same time, you're going to start feeling like lonely. There's something missing. There's something missing in the equation. And that's probably why you decide to give the back and walk away and fly away, travel, or something like that. If your rising sign is Pisces, my dear Cancer, then you just simply embrace the change. Technically speaking, that's what you're going to do, and learn to be happy with the situation as it is. That's the kind of attitude that you probably are going to assume during the month of August 2014. Welcome to my tarot card reading for the month of August. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Scorpio, this is your reading. We have here the Sun, we have the Knight of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the King of Swords, representing Uranus and Saturn, the crown of Aquarius. Okay, Scorpio, at this point in life you should be used to changes. You're a sign that you build, destroy, rebuild. That's your life cycle, and you should be used to this kind of stuff, of so many changes. And the tarot cards are saying that during the month of August, there's highly probable tendency, I'm going to say high possibility, that you're going to leave behind many things. This energy that is very chaotic, this way of thinking that is a little bit rigid, way too conventional or too traditional. There is a tendency for you to just leave behind that and walk away into a different direction, a direction of new projects, new beginnings, new horizons, new things coming to your life. If you don't do it, life is going to do it for you. Technically speaking, that's what the tarot cards are saying. Also, it might means that this way of acting, this erratic way of acting or behaving, this way of being so rigid is going to push you into a different direction in life. Remember, yin and yang. It could be either way. The thing is that there is a turnaround into a new direction in your life during August 2014. Now, the question is, how you are going to react. What's the dynamic according to the rising sign, my dear Scorpio? Well, your rising sign, my dear Scorpio, is Aries. Then you have to be very, very careful of what you do and how you do it. Why you're leaving behind things? Are you being stubborn and you don't want to fight and try to fix the problem, trying to find a way to give the fight? If that's the case, being stubborn and very rigid in your way of thinking is going to push you into a direction of things that are not going to be fruitful. They're not going to develop anything good out of it. Okay? If your rising sign is Taurus, my dear Scorpio, because your rising sign is Taurus, you don't like changes that much. You like to keep everything as stable as possible. So there is a possibility that the situation is going to push you into a new beginning, but this new beginning is going to push you in a beginning of more of the same. You're going back to the same. Be it that you end up again living with your parents, again with the same relationship, or with someone that technically is or has the same tendencies, behaviors, beliefs, actions from the previous one. Whatever it is, if you don't solve this rigid way of thinking and this chaotic, erratic energy, is going to push you into the same end. Okay? You're fleeing away from something and you end up in the same situation because you haven't changed your way of thinking, your patterns. But if you have realized that, then that's a different story. If your rising sign is Gemini, then what we have here is this feeling of despair, hopelessness, and this is the kind of attitude that probably is pushing you into a different direction to create something new, something different. Okay? But highly probable this despair, this hopelessness is coming because you have a very, very, very unique way of thinking, let's put it like that. A little bit rigid and way too conventional or traditional. Okay? You need to let go all these patterns, this way of thinking, so this hopelessness disappears and you're able to create something new, something different, and you can embrace that new change, that new beginning that is coming to your life. If your rising sign is Cancer, my dear Scorpio, what we're going to start seeing is you're going to be in the defensive mode, of a little bit paranoid, probably because you're clinging towards these old ways of thinking. So again, you have to let go. You really need to let go. Don't be defensive. Don't be paranoid, because there seems to be a tendency for you to be very introverted during this time of the year, and you might like run and hide. Okay, you need to really deal with all this stuff that I've already mentioned. If your rising sign is Leo, my dear Scorpio, you're leaving behind something because you want a new relationship, something new, be a new job, a new relationship. There's new beginnings, a new partnership, whatever it is, new business. That's what is coming for you. If your rising sign, my dear Scorpio, is Virgo, there's going to be apprehension. There's going to be fear to change. And that's normal. If your rising sign is Libra, you really need to concentrate on this way of thinking. You don't give the back to a problem hoping that it's going to disappear. Okay? It might turn even worse. So my best advice, you really need to face these patterns, this way of thinking and perceiving your the life. Don't be too rigid and don't be so cruel with yourself. There's going to be changes for you. You need to leave behind those old ways of thinking. If you don't do it, this unsecure, this feeling of not very uncertain, that's the right word, this feeling of uncertainty is going to take you in a direction of dramatic, is going to sound dramatic, but it's of calamity. If your rising sign is Scorpio, my dear Scorpio, you just don't give. Yeah, you just don't care. You just say, whatever is going to happen, bring it on. I don't care. That's the attitude for you, my dear Scorpio, with rising sign Scorpio. If your rising sign is Sagittarius, my dear Scorpio, this attitude of not trying to fix the problem and keep the same way of thinking that hasn't solved the problem, the only thing that is going to do is bring more stagnation. Things are going to get stagnant, nothing is going to grow, everything is going to get stuck. Okay, so if you want something new, something better in your life, you have to leave behind all this erratic energy and these rigid ways of thinking. If your rising sign is Capricorn, the tarot cards are saying that you're going to be in a period of where you're going to be doing a lot of thinking, a lot of auto-analysis. So this is good because it's going to help you to analyze yourself, see where you need to do more work emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and that is going to help you a lot because then you will be able to have a great beginning. If your rising sign is Aquarius, my dear Scorpio, what you're going to do is you're going to analyze. A lot of thinking, a lot of analysis of what you have, you had, what you have accomplished in life. There's going to be a lot of thinking about that, but you're going to also realize that you're a little bit alone, even if you are together, you have a partner or whatever it is, you're going to feel a little bit lonely. And probably because of that recapitulation, if that's the right word, if you analyze, think about what you have accomplished, you already walk all the way up to the hill and you're successful, but at the same time you're realizing that there are some ways that need to be fixed, and probably this is going to push you in a direction of doing something different, something new, and looking for new horizons to conquer. If your rising sign, that's in satisfaction, my dear rising sign Aquarius. If your rising sign is Pisces, my dear Scorpio, what we're going to start seeing is a dynamic of embracing. The tarot cards are saying that you really need to embrace change. You have to bring down the walls of being rigid. You have to open your eyes to new horizons, new ways. You have to be more brotherly, if that's the correct expression. You have to be more inclusive, more accepting. You have to let go all these rigid ways of thinking. Let it go so life can bring you new things. Technically, that's what the tarot cards are saying. Because anyhow, life is going to push you into a different direction in your life, my dear Scorpio. But it's up to you what is going to be the dynamic. If you cling into old ways of thinking, all these patterns that are not working, they didn't work for you, life is going to push you into a different direction. But if you insist in still practicing these ways, you already heard what is going to happen, or what is going to happen if you realize it and give the back to this. And that will be reading Scorpio August 2014. Welcome to my tarot card reading for the month of August 2014. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Pisces, this is your reading. We have the Outcast, the Six of Pentacles or coins. We have St. Lawrence, the Knight of Coins, and the Ten of Cups representing Pluto, Pisces. This reading is about control, manipulation, not letting go. It seems that some way, somehow, there's something that you hold very dear and you just don't want to let go. You just are clinging into it. You're not letting go. And the tarot cards, that's what they're saying. It could be that you cling to something that makes you feel financially secure. It could be family members, someone that you like, someone that you love. But the thing is that there is a resistance to change. There is a resistance of letting go. There is control, manipulation involved in this reading. Because we have Pluto, Pisces, and then we have St. Lawrence, the one that sold everything to preserve the church, but it's upside down, letting us know that he didn't sell anything, he just grabbed into it. So we're seeing a lot of control and manipulation here because there is a fear of losing something valuable. Okay? And the tarot cards are just giving you the advice. We have the Outcast. So the best thing I can tell you is please seek professional advice, be it a psychologist, a lawyer, whatever it is, the decision. The best thing you can do is seek professional advice. Okay? Now, the dynamic, how it's going to be if you have a rising sign. Well, let's see. If you have a rising sign that is Aries, what we're going to start seeing is that if you keep like holding into it, you're going to start seeing that things are going to be stagnant. There's not going to be any growth. Things are going to wither away. If your rising sign is in Taurus, this holding back, this clinging is going to make you get stuck in the same situation, and you're going to get back to the same stuff. If your rising sign is Gemini, you're going to be a little bit confused and hopeless, discouraged. It's the right expression, and probably that's why you are clinging, because you feel hopeless. And it could be that you're a little bit depressed and you need someone. You probably are very highly codependent and you are like choking this person, but is hopelessness the reason behind all this stuff? If your rising sign is Cancer, what we're going to start seeing is that you are on a defensive mode. You are in a paranoia state, where that's why you are controlling, manipulating. You don't want to let go because there's this fear. You're defending what you think belongs to you, what makes you feel stable and secure. If your rising sign is Leo, this is a very interesting reading, because it's letting us know that some way, somehow you enter with this dynamic of manipulation and control. Is going to help you enter a new relationship. Is going to help you to enter a new business, a new partnership, whatever it is something new and is relationship oriented. If your rising sign is in Virgo, my dear Pisces, there is going to be a lot of fear to change, fear to move on, and that's why you are in this mood of controlling and manipulating. If your rising sign is Libra, the tarot cards are saying that there has been a big sudden change in your life that it has shook your life. You're feeling like something shook you up and you collapsed, and probably you're hurt, and that's why you are controlling, manipulating, trying to feel secure. That's feared also, but it's due to a trauma, let's put it like that. If your rising sign is a Scorpio, then you are the one being controlled. You are letting yourself be in control and manipulated, my dear Pisces with rising sign Scorpio. If your rising sign is Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, what we have, my dear Pisces, is a kind of a passive aggressive situation here going on, where you are controlling, but at the same time there's no growth. Things are not growing, there's no any kind of progress, and probably that's why you are trying to keep things as they are, because you see that you're not going anywhere and you need that situation. In other words, if you're married and you're going to have a divorce, you're trying to avoid the divorce for a simple reason. You don't have the money, the resources to be on your own. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That's in a relationship. It could be also a job. It could be any other kind of relationship. But you're trying to control and manipulate things because you know that on your own you can't grow. That's the kind of dynamic that we have. If your rising sign is Capricorn, my dear Pisces, there's going to be a lot of thinking, a lot of process, a lot of analysis. You're going to be kind of a psychologist, thinking and analyzing stuff. But at the same time, you might be using some kind of psychology here to keep things under check, under your power, under your control. If your rising sign is Aquarius, this is a very interesting dynamic. Is you see that he has the world in his hand. So if you're Aquarius, you're going to be controlling and manipulating things heavily. Okay? You want things to be your way. And finally, if your rising sign is in Pisces, this is a very interesting reading because it's letting us know that you have to be very inclusive. You have to let go and experience happiness and fear. But your happiness and fear of letting go clashes with Pluto Pisces because it doesn't want to let go and you're just clinging into it. And the best advice that the tarot are giving you is just open up, embrace it, and just let go. And that's for you, my dear Pisces, with the rising sign in Pisces. And to the next one.